Hi everyone, it's V and welcome back to my channel, Critical Healing Moment. Today we are doing another Plan With Me Unscripted. This is for February 2021. I haven't done one of these since September, I think. And today I will be talking about design and aesthetics. A little bit different topic than what I usually talk about, but it's just something that's been on my mind. Before we get started, I want to apologize for the color correction that I had to do on this video. The lighting at my new desk is just a mess, and so I have to cut up the clip and color correct a lot of pieces, and I'm not really good at it yet, so please bear with me on that. My desk does get a lot of good lighting, but unfortunately I don't wake up early enough to draw and do my bullet journal while it's nice and sunny. So you're dealing with basement lighting and overhead lights, but I did just get a ring light, so I'm hoping I can use that in my new videos. Anyways, today we're talking about design and aesthetics because I just moved and I've been really into decorating my space. And what you can see here is actually how my desk area is set up in real life. I am drawing what my desk looks like, and I'm literally sitting at this desk right now as I record this. Not all of the elements are in place yet. This was kind of an aspirational spread, although about 80% of it was already set up by the time I sketched this out. But some of the pieces here are aspirational things that I want to put together, DIY, find, and some of them that I found between the time I actually drew this out and the time that I'm recording this voiceover. I would describe my aesthetic as bohemian, vintage, eclectic, and my aesthetic has been this way for a long time. I think before all the young people got on board with this. This has always been my aesthetic since I was in high school. I loved thrift shopping and upcycling and the uniqueness of all of that. So that kind of creativity has always been a part of my life. And I'm a little bit annoyed at how different aesthetic movements have cropped up over the past few years with Gen Z. I guess I'm old. Them making new names for things that already existed. I wanted to talk a little bit about aesthetics and design and also how that fits into branding and consumption and capitalism. I don't really have any fully fleshed thoughts, but this is an unscripted video, so you get it unfiltered. I feel like nowadays with things being called aesthetics, which is a weird way to use that word because I think the definition of aesthetic means visually pleasing or something like that. And nowadays, aesthetic kind of just means one thing. I think when people say aesthetic, they have a particular design style in mind, but there's so many other design styles and fashion tastes and trends, I guess. And it's really weird because aesthetics now, it boils down to one particular look, but this look is supposed to convey some sort of uniqueness and a type of quirkiness, I guess. But in reality, it's everyone looking the same. It's kind of like when you go on Pinterest and everything looks the same and there's no actually defined styles. And I think that this movement towards certain aesthetics is driven by market forces and capitalism for people to purchase items that are unethically made to fit into a particular aesthetic and to be cool. And while that has happened throughout history, I think now in particular, it's ironic that certain aesthetics are meant to convey a sense of counterculture or anti-establishmentism, but the aesthetics themselves are manufactured by capitalists and people with wealth and companies that set the trends. I think it's really odd where you can buy something that is mass produced that has a unique look that's kind of what's happening now instead of people going out and finding unique pieces. Maybe I'm just annoyed and old. Can I just rant for 1 second about what is cottagecore? I mean, I know what cottagecore is, but as someone who was into the DIY culture and I've known how to knit for 18, 20 years or something like that at this point, and just making my own stuff and having a love for building things, I find it kind of offensive that it is now just a trend and an aesthetic movement instead of a whole lifestyle. It's just something that people can buy and purchase and make it seem like they do that, because now the runways and the top fashion designers and things like that are capitalizing on this movement of people DIYing things, and they're making expensive items that look handmade and like shabby chic. I don't like that. I don't mean to be a gatekeeper in the creative arts, but I think that people should get into it if they're genuinely interested in the hobby instead of just trying to jump on board a particular aesthetic. Anyway, I want to go back to talking about my design style. A lot of the pieces that are in this illustration of my space, which exists in real life, are things that I've thrifted, things that I've found at flea markets, antique shops, and things that I've made, like this little macrame hanging. I made that a few years ago, the first apartment that I lived in by myself, well, the only apartment that I lived in by myself, which was a short 6 months. But I got really excited when I had my own space and went wild with DIYs. So I DIY'd that macrame wall hanging and also the shelf that is on the right side wall I found at a thrift store, and I stained it. I did that all kind of the same sort of craft binge. Anyways, this little space here on the left is my desk and office space, and I wanted to bring in some more design elements than I previously had because my desk had just become a pile of junk, and I really wanted to have intentional storage that looked pleasing to me while at the same time hiding things that I use often instead of having them be out and about. So my stationery isn't just sitting out there anymore, it's actually in the cabinet that's on the side, which is in reality white right now, but aspirationally I would like to spray paint it black. And on the right side is a little yoga and meditation space that I'm hoping to use to restart my home yoga practice. It's been really challenging to keep up with that. I don't think I've done yoga in months because I'm super motivated by going out to different places, and although we have a vaccine, I don't think it's safe enough to be going back to the yoga studio, although the one I used to go to is open. I'm just silently reacting to that by myself. So I'm hoping that I can use that space to have a dedicated area for me to practice yoga and put it back into my routine. And I think if I make it look nice and cozy how I want it, it'll be really appealing to me. Okay, so now we are going to the monthly spread, and I have designed this with plants, which I don't currently own, but I hope to get some plants into the space. Haven't been into houseplants yet, but maybe this is the year. And I also want to restart my garden. We have a little, wouldn't call it a yard, it's more of like a back patio, and I can do some container gardening, and I hope to start that very soon so that I can start my plants from seed and save some money on vegetables, hopefully successfully this year if I start early enough and get my soil all right. It was really hard last year to get the soil right with working in the ground, so I'm hoping for better luck this year. Anyways, the design of this monthly spread is rattan because I am obsessed with rattan and wicker baskets. I have gone to the thrift store, multiple thrift stores, multiple times over the past week because I've been looking for wicker baskets, and I have bought, I think, 3 or 4, which I did film in a vlog, so I'm hoping to edit that so that you can kind of see what I look for when I thrift. I actually keep a running list of things that I want to buy for my home in my phone. I actually used to keep it in my bullet journal, and so it's a little bit duplicated. I have it in my bullet journal and also on my phone, but because it's in my phone, I always have it around me, and sometimes I don't have my bullet journal if I'm quickly running out and doing something. So I have a list of things that I want to buy, and so I usually look for things that are very specific. So when I went into the thrift stores, I had particular things in mind. I made measurements of the size of the basket I wanted, and then I went and looked, and I had amazing luck that I found some really awesome baskets in the times that I went. And this spread is a to-do list. I am keeping it simple. I didn't do a budget spread because I am going to be trying a new budgeting method since I will be having a different financial situation in February. So I think if I do make changes to that I want to share, I'll make another video soon. So this is just a to-do list, and there's just this decorative stripe that I've included that has this sort of mismatched design that I felt like was pretty boho. As I was drawing this, I was remembering something that I used to do a lot when I was little. Was I would used to draw snakes, and I would give them lots of different intricate patterns and I would color them in. That's just something that I did when I was in elementary school that I remembered when I was putting this together. Here is the to-do list, and that's it. This is my February spread. If you like this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bullet journal content. I also make videos on healing, organizing, and social work. So whatever you're interested in, please subscribe to my channel and let me know what kind of videos you're interested in.